Welcome back. So previously, Elvis has been giving us his story, how he grew up and the challenges. So Elvis, let's continue with your story.
Okay, thank you so much, Catherine. Now I finished up to class 8, then I went back to Kisumu because we knew that Nairobi there is very many deaf schools and schools that I could join. Now before, we used to be in Nyangoma in cultural dance. We used to compete in different places, festivals, music festivals, Mumias, Kuja, different schools, Machakos, all were coming together for the interval. And then I knew, since our school, we used to win all those. So when in the cultural festival, I used to meet different people who told me about, different schools in Nairobi, high school and kind of that stuff. And now I was very motivated to go because Machakos, first of all, Machakos girls, I think, won and ours. Mumias tried, we were competing, dancing, the competition was stiff, but the Mumias girls won. Then later, I decided I wanted to go to Nairobi because I had many friends, through our interactions in Nairobi. So maybe I could, do carpentry, different school, carpentry. Yeah, and also in Mumias, you see, in Ukambani also there were schools, but then I didn't like the experience I had from the place, so I decided to switch to Nairobi. Now, when I came to Nairobi, I was extremely surprised because at night there were all these kind of lights, and it was really an amazing scene. It was. So I went to Karen Institute where I learned about electrical engineering. Then I decided to switch, maybe do carpentry, because you see my uncle had, and then I switched to mechanical, because my uncle had a business of mechanic. So he also advised me not to do the carpentry, and he insisted that I was also told that carpentry, has many opportunities, more cash. So I decided to switch and, focus on my uncle's business that was also mechanical. So I practiced carpentry for a while, became even stiff-armed. My physique. But this was not my aim, because this was not something that I loved. But I did it for a while because I felt like also I'd wasted my time. So I explained to my family, and then they said, maybe try 3 years. Then if you fail, then maybe you will move to another thing. Then I decided I focused on sports because I also always loved football. In Karen, we used to compete, run, athletics. I used to win and emerge the winner. So I also used to have so there was a lot of jokes when I was there, and then when I joined now the deaf culture, because I had still not interacted a lot, and then I felt like there was a lot of things like gossiping, a lot of negative things. But later this culture helped me become stronger and helped me become more mature. Because sometimes you see, even you might not even be focused on someone, and then someone just starts questioning you, why you look at me, what do you want? And there was a lot of negative things in the culture, but I decided to focus on maybe the positive, and for myself, I decided to focus on the hearing. I know I did not avoid the culture completely, but I decided that I should try and balance the hearing culture and the deaf culture. I felt like in the deaf culture, you know, people could get upset really quickly. So sometimes I used to come, sit alone, feeling sad, but then later I decided to now start interacting with, you know, hearing people. I started interacting, introducing myself, and also started to, you know, when I went to back home, I used to now start reading and learning more about psychology, how to, you know, interact more and how to learn more with people. So I stayed in 6 months for this. I did the psychology for 6 months. Yeah, and then in the psychology was helping me so that I could advocate and help other people. So sometimes I used to do carpentry, then focus back on advocacy on the counseling part. On the counseling, now, so there was a man, his name was Kari, yeah, who was always empowering the deaf, helping us. We have, you know, we were 5 people, 2 boys, 3 girls, others from Kayole, Karibangi, where we used to come there to learn, and it gave us positive, you know, positive education. And we stayed there for 1.5 years. Then it was closed because now I didn't have sponsorship to continue. But I also thank God because I know that in now this psychology during that time, it helped me manage more and understand my emotions better, because people normally say that maybe my character is different, I express myself more, but that's okay because that is who I am. And all those I was taught, and those have helped me benefit a lot in my mentally and also emotionally, because every time I meet people now, I'm more interactive and I am able to get more, you know, opportunities so that I can be able to know, and I show people respect. I'm a funny guy, I interact with people. Sometimes you meet with some people, they abuse, you know, throw some insults, but then since I understand where they might be coming from, I take it as a normal thing, and it has also helped me interact and maneuver the hearing world and the hearing culture more.
Wow, that's a very nice and long story. So, how has the deaf culture, how have you connected with the deaf culture? Are you comfortable, or what happened when you moved to Nairobi?
Now for now it's okay, but a long time ago I had to fight a lot. I loved fighting a lot, because sometimes you'd explain something for a very long time. Because, for example, when I used to play, I think I was 14 years old ago, you see, hearing kids used to make fun of me, or calling me funny names like Boo Boo, insulting them. But then when it came to time for playing, I even have marks on my leg to show all the tackles that I had. But I used to be very good with playing. But I hated this abuse thing that was going on. But I decided to be patient. And sometimes also this, you know, because of the insults, I used to fight a lot of time. And I used to sometimes even injure those other kids a lot. Because in school I was fighting, I was always angry with people. My parents knew that I had, you know, I had all this anger inside me because of all these insults that were coming. So also they were advised to stop. And it's true, I used to also defend myself, say that these people, you know, the insults are what were really upsetting me. So they also want to stop at the time. So it was also important for them to know that even if a person is deaf or living with another disability, it was important to show respect and to interact with them as other people. So later as well, now in this time right now, things have become better because now there is no more insults, you see, like there was before. Sometimes, you see, I used to also encourage, you know, other people to stop the insults, the bad mouthing.
But for now, I thank God because I can teach sign language, and also I have understood different cultures, and I also know the culture, the hearing culture. So when the deaf come, I am right now I'm able to know, and also when it comes to sports, we have also equal opportunities, and also through empowerment, we are able to get different opportunities, and we solve different things on an equal basis. Right now we have mainstreaming and integration. So what are the challenges between the hearing world and the deaf world? Kindly explain to us.
Thank you so much. So it's true, there's a big challenge now because you see the hearing culture, sometimes there's adverts, jobs, there's opportunities, and then, you know, we get it late, and then now we are not able to, you know, progress a lot in life because sometimes we look for places to apply the job. Maybe we now, you see, maybe the hearing culture, they maybe give out something, you know, they know how to maneuver to get the job, but then for us it becomes a challenge. We've tried. Life sometimes, communication becomes a problem. Yeah, the hustle, you know, moving around trying to get a job becomes maybe a challenge. There's a time I even tried matatu business because of my friend who has experience in the sector, who was there. He was a member. For myself, I didn't know, but I was lucky to be able to join him because he was famous in that place. He had dreads, and he was working there in the matatu sector. So me, I thought this was an opportunity for my life, you know, to help me, you know, progress. So sometimes, you know, yeah, some people also started, you know, fearing us deaf people when we were working there at the matatu. There in OTC, we used to stay there in OTC because you see, since I was good with mouthing, I used to help, you know, encourage people to get in the matatus. We were responsible for even taking the tickets. Sometimes there was a little bit of corruption. Sometimes we
So previously, life was not that easy, but right now, as we continue with this new generation, life, at least on my side, it's becoming easier. So right now we have so many opportunities, and also we have most people who encourage people to go into this matatu are more hearing, and we have less deaf on it. So I consider it as being lucky, and also it's a normal life. So did you continue with the matatu business or you dropped? So if I were a youth right now, I can say I could have continued with the same and probably gotten a car of my own to be driving around. But in my mind, I gave up because the police used to arrest me, and because of alcohol. I used to drink alcohol before I encouraged people to get into matatus, so it brought problems between me and the police. So my friends advised me to drop that job and just get something else which will put food on my table. So for me, I went to work with, the only time I go at the matatu stage is when I'm going to greet my friends. But right now my friend went to Germany for more business and he stays over there. That's nice. And so kindly, as we finish up our show, advise some of the viewers who are watching and inform them about the deaf culture. Thank you so much, viewers. I've discussed about the challenges that we've had, and I've also discussed about what made me deaf, and also I've discussed about how easy for me to get irritated was previously. But as I grow up, I've really learned to understand and also integrate with many people, and I've also learned how to maneuver in Nairobi. I've learned the deaf culture and I've understood different culture, because for the deaf culture they're easily irritated. And I've also learned that people have different characters and personality. And I've also interacted with different parents who are deaf, and that has given me an opportunity. So I want to encourage you viewers, and I welcome you to learn sign language. If you have a child who is deaf, or you want to marry a wife who is deaf, kindly I encourage you to learn sign language. This will help in easy communication so that you can avoid misunderstanding, because you know the cultures are not the same. So if you learn sign language, this will help you change and you'll be flexible. Thank you so much for listening to my story and how it has affected and impacted me. But for me, I thank God I accepted my situation, and now I've learned both the cultures, deaf and the hearing culture. Thank you. Wow, you've seen how we've interacted and talked about the culture, and I hope that you've understood about both the deaf culture and the hearing culture, and you've learned more from my guests. Bye, and let's meet again on Sunday.